Hey people. It's been a little while. I think it's my first live of the year, if I'm not wrong. I'm gonna give some folks some time to get in here. We're gonna have a really good conversation tonight because tomorrow, January 15th, I'm doing a workshop completely online, completely free, and it's gonna be all about how what I would call, became a successful content creator. And I say successful because I'm getting paid to create content. Brands are reaching out to me. I'm pitching brands. It's consistent. I'm consistent. So I'm gonna take credit where credit is due. And this live is literally a precursor for tomorrow's webinar. So the webinar is going to be more one-to-one, or better yet, one-to-many, where I'm going to be interacting and talking to folks and breaking it down a lot more about how did I become a content creator, right? And it all started with setting my intention back in 2023. And I was just kind of shooting my shot. I was like, what if I really took it seriously? Because I've always made content, I've always made videos, I've had a podcast, I'm an author, I've done a lot of things in the content space, different things that content creators do. I've done it over the years. But I was like, can I truly make content creation, being a content creator in the modern day terms, in the creator economy, a sustainable income source, a sustainable way to build myself, build my business, build a brand? And the answer is yes. And so I'm going to be doing, over the next few months, I'm going to be doing more so content creator education, because I already make education content. So it's flipped. So I do education content, and now I'm going to be doing content education. And that's because I realize that there are so many people and that have potential to be a content creator, but a lot of times you put content creators into this box, right? People see what's on TikTok and they're like, I don't want to do those. I don't want to make funny videos. I don't want to make dancing videos. That's not my style. But content creation is way more than that. A blogger is a content creator. A videographer is a content creator. A photographer is a content creator, an author. So all of that is a part of the creator economy, and all of those roles are content creators. And the creator economy is evolving, and it's already billions of dollars in this space. So creating content is a job, and it's always been a job. It's just that they're using new terminology to define it. A freelancer in their own aspect is a content creator. Entrepreneur, if you're working in a professional setting, if you're trying to build your professional brand, you are creating content oftentimes to do so, to spread the word about you, what you can do, and who you are. That's all the same bucket. So in the next couple weeks, months, I'm going to really start off with explaining like, what is a content creator? What does a creator economy look like? A lot of people don't even know there's a difference between a content creator and an influencer. That's a completely different thing. And then inside of content creator bucket, you have UGC creators, user generated content creators. And then you have people that just do content for entertainment. You have people that don't even charge or have products. There's different ways to make money: affiliate links, brand deals, having your own product. It is such a complex space. And that's why when people only see this much of it, they make assumptions about the rest of it. And then they don't think, oh, I'm not going to be a good content creator. I don't know how to vlog. I don't know how to YouTube. I don't know how to do TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. But you can still be a very profitable, a very consistent content creator, if you get my gist. So that's what I'm going to be educating about over the next couple months, because it's important. And as the economy is shifting, it's like, how can we make sustainable income for ourselves? I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 plus years at this point, right? Having multiple businesses. I've done freelance work. I've done agency work. I've had my own company. And there's so many layers even to that, right? And I want to educate people so that way they can make the best decision for themselves to get additional income, to get additional exposure for themselves and their families and people that they're around. And you don't know what you don't know. And so my whole goal with the work that I'm doing is to help people learn more. Because once you have the information, then you could make an educated decision around what you want to do and how you want to show up. And if it is a viable source of additional income, a viable source of additional branding, and a viable source of whatever you want to do it for, right? So that's that. A little agenda for tonight. Hey folks, I see some folks on Facebook. So I'm on live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm not gonna be here long because I got things to do tonight. But I was just making some videos. You'll see which videos I make when you see me like in this setup. And I try to keep my setups very same or similar, so that way folks don't know what I recorded it or whatever. But that's okay. But yeah, I wanted to come on because one, I'm promoting the webinar that I'm doing tomorrow on January 15th. It's a completely free webinar. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, the link to the webinar is going to be in the description of the video. If you're watching on Instagram, just go ahead and comment join in the chat. So if you just comment the word join in the chat, you'll get the link, right? So if you're watching on Instagram, just comment join in the chat and you'll get the link to the webinar as well as everything else I'm talking about tonight. So what I want to show folks, and this replay is going to exist on YouTube and Facebook. It's not going to be on Instagram, but that's okay. So if you haven't already, subscribed to my YouTube if you want to watch the replay. What I'm going to talk about is a few different things. First thing is I want to share a recap of how my year went last year as a my first year as a full-time content creator. So let me share my screen. Hey, y'all in the chat. All right, so I did like a 2024 wrapped on December 31st. So this is how my year went down. And I got 51 brand partnerships, gained 19,337 followers on Instagram, right? That's a little shy of 20,000 followers. Then I shared 700 posts from January to December, and I earned $9,194 as additional income. That's all that's the revenue, but I have to subtract the expenses. And I do have like a little thing I'll maybe show y'all talking about how the expenses went. And I made unlimited memories, right? That's a little cutesy part of it. But yeah, what I want to focus on these two numbers, right? Growing your audience and growing your exposure within brands. That is key and essential. So let's take a look at what the back end of that looks like broken down. Here's a graph because I love charts. I love all things charts, graphs, all that good stuff. This is my jam, right? So the blue line represents TikTok. So in my CMS, and if you want the CMS, which is content management system, I use a Google Sheet, nothing too crazy, nothing fancy that most people won't know. It's a plain old Google Sheet. And I plug in the numbers of followers. So I do it month by month. So the first of each month, I go in, see how many followers I have, and then I plug it into this sheet. And then the sheet automatically populates this chart. So that's what I did. So I started with January. So you can see around here, it's around like 1,600. And then by February, I wasn't really taking it seriously. I didn't really do much. So that's why the line ain't moved much. Then between February and April, I'm like, all right, let's keep it going, right? So you see the first bump here. Then the second bump happens between April and June. The biggest bump though was in the summer. So June through August, that was a huge bump. And it kind of started, I don't want to say phasing out. It had a more of consistent rate of growth for the fall. And don't get me wrong, there's times that I would get a lot of followers, but there are just as many unfollowers, right? And you have to expect that, but you'll overall the average will still be going up. And I also track the other social media platforms because I wanted to determine where should I spend my most time? What is most profitable for me to do? Because while I can be posting on every single thing, I got 24 hours in a day. I got kids to feed, work to do, school to go to. I have things to do. And I didn't want to spread myself too thin. So I wanted to collect data this first year. Where am I spending my time? What are the results that I'm reaping? The benefits of spending my time in each place. So Instagram was the most fruitful. Here's TikTok. As you can see, it was, on the up and up around the summertime. Then it just no. Then Threads was doing good, right? Started lower than TikTok and then it surpassed TikTok. YouTube had really consistent growth, not as much as everything else, of course. I think I'm just at like 880 on YouTube right now. Facebook and LinkedIn and my newsletter, I really didn't spend enough time on those. So their lines are literally like overlapping each other all the way at the bottom of this chart. But that's to be expected because I didn't spend much time on them. So what I learned from this chart is that Instagram was the fastest growth, the most consistent growth, and where I should be spending a lot of my time. Threads doesn't convert well for me. And I wrote like a post about this on Threads the other day, and I might share that right now. Because Threads, I am monetized on there, but it's only $500 in a 30-day span. So if you divide 500 by 30, you're ending up with, actually, let me do the math a little different. You get up to $500. You have 30 days to do it. And you have to post 60 threads that get over 750 views in order to hit that amount. So what that looks like for me is that when we do the math, $500, at least 60 threads have to meet the threshold. That means I'm getting about $8.60 per thread that hits the goal. And in order to get a thread that hits the goal, I have to post for at least 1 to 2 hours a day, like interact on threads for at least 1 to 2 hours a day. And so that makes me question, how much is it really when I break down the amount of time that I'm spending of it? So when I did the math, and let me actually find the thread that I broke down the math. While I am monetized and I can earn from this platform, the amount of dollars, when I do the full math of it, how much time it takes me, how many posts I have to do, I'm only making like $11. Okay, here it is. So I'm just going to read it through again. Currently evaluating if Threads bonus is a distraction or a benefit to me. Hear me out. If the Threads if I have the $500 Threads bonus and it gives me a month, right, 30 days, or yeah, 30 days to make 60 posts that have at least 750 views. That's 500 divided by 60. So we're looking at about $8.33 per post. I actually said it lower the first time by accident. And it takes me so when I broke it down all the way, 1 month equals 30 days. Then I have to post or be on Threads about 90 minutes a day. So that's 2,700 minutes. So if you divide the minutes by the amount of posts, that's 45 hours. The minutes by the amount of minutes in an hour. So that's about 45 hours. So long story short, $500 divided by 45 hours, I'm looking at about $11.11 per hour of work. That don't make sense. I could be doing something else, right? For me, everybody's different. For me, that'll make sense. So is it worth it to be posting or be on that platform that much? Whereas Instagram will convert at a lot higher rate. I have to do the exact math. I love math if it's not already obvious. Math, charts, numbers, that's my thing. But if I spend my time on Instagram, I reap way more benefits. So I showed y'all this earlier, right? The majority of these brand partnerships came from Instagram. I also have another chart that I want to show y'all here where where I show what was the benefit to me from each of the partnerships. Maybe make this chart a little bit smaller so you can see it better. So from affiliate links, and I will explain that in another video, but just follow me. Affiliate links was a 2.1% of my earnings. Item exchange. So item exchange is when they would give me an item in exchange for content. That was about 55%, 55.3%. Then exposure. This was just, you're on our platform. We shared your video. People saw it, right? Vibes. Exposure is just vibes. That one was about 6.4%. And then lastly, the ones that I got paid for was about 36.2%. 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. So let's go back to our math, our charts, our percentages. And so to me, right, looking at this, it tells me the majority of work that I did, I got some direct benefit from it, whether it was a product or service, because some of them, the item exchange were services, or financial benefits. And I don't know about everybody else's chart. To me, this is a good start. In the future, I would like the pay to be increased, maybe like 50 to 70%. But it was my first year. So to me, this was cool. And that 32%, that 36% equaled a little over $9,000. So if we increase that percentage, that also increases the dollar amounts that I'm receiving. So I'm excited to do that for the year coming up. Real quick, I'll talk to y'all about some of the expenses that I had. So I had, and here's what I want to talk about here. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because I'm gonna do individual videos on this as I go along as the more content creator education. I had paid for Thinkific because I'm like, I'm gonna launch a course. Thinkific is a course platform. I'm like, I'm gonna launch a course. Everyone's gonna see my content. They're gonna purchase the course. I made the course, put it on there, zilch. So I spent this money, $0 return. Then the Stand Store, this has been fruitful. So it's a link in bio, checkout, and it also has courses kind of vibe. So I've been testing this out. ManyChat is my chat automation bot. This has been very, very fruitful. And then I also bought a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. That was the most expensive thing that I bought last year as a content creator. Is it worth it? It's a great camera. I thought I was going to be doing vlogs as a content creator, but I was wrong. I do not want to vlog, but it does help me take really good videos for the YouTube stuff that I'm going to be making. So I'm not going to be doing vlogs on YouTube, but I'm going to be doing more courses, and it's great for that. So if I'm outside, if I don't want to take the video on my phone, because The majority of this content I make is honestly on my iPhone. I have an iPhone 12. It does a great job, high quality videos. It does what it needs to do. So I would say I definitely bought this camera because of the hype. If I could go back and do it again, I would not buy the camera. Not because it's a bad camera, but because I don't need it. Right. And that's a key thing I wanted to share with folks. Do not just fall into the hype. I did, everybody's susceptible, but I didn't need to buy that camera. It was me just seeing other people, well, everybody's DJI. I'm going to vlog. I'm a content creator. I must vlog. I don't must vlog. I don't need to vlog. So it is what it is. I already had Canva Pro, which is about $15 a month. I already had Gmail with a custom domain that's around $7 a month. And I already had a domain name and all that stuff. So I didn't have to pay extra for any of that. Then this is kind of the breakdown of where the monies came in from. So brand partnerships was a little over 5,000. Social media paying me. So Instagram and Threads was a little under 4,000. And then remember I told y'all I spent this much. So I would say these three things here are like things I spent on to try to sell digital products or try to get people to do something. Look how much I made. Nowhere near the amount that I spent. So, and again, if me having these numbers, me having these charts allows me to now make better decisions this year as a content creator. And I want to teach people as I go. Do I know everything? No, I don't. And am I going to say that I know everything? I also don't. But I want to keep doing experiments, keep learning. And I want you all to come along and learn with me. So that's why I'm doing these webinars. That's why I'm doing these workshops. So now let's talk about the workshop. So tomorrow I'm doing, and this is just the beginning of a series. So if you missed the one tomorrow, you could possibly watch the replay or join the next one, right? They will be released at ongoing. It's how to master content creation for beginners. And when I say beginners, I mean, if you have never done anything at all, like you're starting today, you could come to this webinar. You'll be good. You'll be fine. And so we have a couple people going already, and I'm also going to be giving away some products. So let me grab the products that I'm giving away to y'all. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway of what is this? Selfie light, wireless microphone that could, have multiple adapters, and a tripod. Listen, I've had this tripod for like 6 years now. This tripod has seen some stuff, come in handy in so many different ways. And the light that I'm using right now, let me turn off the light. Let me show you the difference when you got a light. You see? Let me put the light back on. It makes a difference, right? So these little wireless mic, this is a different wireless mic that I got, but nonetheless, it makes a difference. So I'm going to be going over literally everything that I did to help myself become consistent, pump out a lot of content while doing many, many other things in the background, life, work, school, etc., kids, and how you can do the same and build out your own content management system and how to access that. So that's one thing I want to talk about. So if you are watching on Instagram, you can go ahead and comment join. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you could go ahead and look in the description of the video and the links are in there. The next thing I want to briefly talk about is the content management system. So I created this content management system that helps you organize all the content you have to make, all of the sheets and what is it called? All of the tables are automatically populated, and it's only $5. So if you want that template, it's in Google Sheets. You go ahead and comment join in the Instagram, or again, it's available. It'll say CMS on YouTube or Facebook. Click that link, you get to my Stan store, and it's $5. So you can grab that. And the last thing I'll share with y'all is I'm also an Amazon shop influencer. I don't know the exact term. I forgot this one, but I create lists. And so this is the list of current tech stuff I use for my content creation, as well as for my business. Like I work and do content as a part of my work. So these are all the things I have. But realistically, as a content creator, you only need 3 of these things, because more than likely, if you're watching this video, you already have a phone and or some form of camera on your computer, wherever you have a camera. So you only need a microphone, a light, and a tripod. Everything else is a nice to have. Tell me back. Everything else is a nice to have as a beginner. That's what I'm giving away, a beginner creator content kit. Oh, I see some folks are from Jamaica. Hey, y'all. In Jamaica at the moment. But yeah, so I wanted to share that with y'all and invite everyone to come out to the workshop, the webinar, completely free webinar that I'm doing on January 15th. There will be more, many, many more. There will be more lives. There will be more content on YouTube. There will be more workshops. The workshops, I do those ones instead of just putting the video up on YouTube, because that way you can ask questions. We're going to be doing some audits in there. That's when I go over and take a look at your social media profile that you want of your choice. And then I give you some feedback. Hey, you should change this. You should upgrade this. You should add this. You should remove that. Because I understand, right? I was there. I got audits from people. I experimented a lot. I tested till I couldn't test no more. And I still am testing today, because it is a learning process. And I found that I had to go a lot of different places to find the information and education around being a content creator and what that could look like for me. So what I want to do with my content, because I love educational content and I love building out templates and frameworks, I'm going to now create content around being a content creator, which is very meta, but nonetheless, I think it has a lot of value, and I want to educate. I want to help. I want to um, see who I could help, right? I'm gonna set a little goal. If I could help 100 people start their content creator journey this year, that will be enough. Well, not enough. That would be a great starting point, right? You want to set your goal, go above it. So I'm gonna be on here for maybe like 5 more minutes because it's late, y'all. I'm based in New York. It is late. But does anyone have any questions about the webinar, the content management system? And I know I went over a lot. That's what I'm going to be doing. No more than like 10-minute videos, like 5 to 10-minute videos, short videos. You consume them, listen to them like a podcast on YouTube. So that way folks can understand what the creator economy looks like as of right now and how you can be involved in it. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of opportunities to take advantage of. There's a lot of experiences. People need content creators in every single scope, because content creation is now how brands, businesses, products, and services build trust, right? If we think of like 10, 15 years ago, if you needed a product or a service, what would you do? You call up a family member, you call up a friend. What do you recommend? People's networks have evolved, right? Globalization has happened. People are living in different countries, different states, different cities. They're living apart from their original trust circle. So they're leveraging the internet to find people that look like them, come from where they come from, have the similar interests, to figure out what to buy, what to use, right? Like natural hair products. I want to see somebody with natural hair using it and seeing what it's like, what their experience is. So there's a lot of space in this industry, but you have to understand it. If you understand it, you know how to then best play your game. And like I said, it was a lot of trial and error for me. I came on here thinking I'm about to be a vlogger, a YouTuber, da 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 da. That's not my thing. That's not my forte. Could I? Yes. But would that be the way I would thrive as a content creator? No. I'd be forgetting to record before I eat, all sorts of stuff. That's not my best fit, right? And I see a question here. Yeah, so the event is a webinar explaining to folks and educating folks on how they can become a content creator. So if you comment, join here on Instagram, so there's a comment on Instagram, then you'll get the link to register for that session that's happening tomorrow on January 15th, 7 p.m. to 8:30, like 8:15, 8:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Any other questions? So again, if you're in the chat on Instagram, just go ahead and comment join, JOIN, and you will get a DM with the link to register. I'm probably going to do another live tomorrow before the event, just to tell people to come pull up. You know what I mean? And that's a part of the work. That's a part of the work. People are not just going to show up out of the woodworks. You have to let people know what you're doing, show them what you're working on, have them see your face, hear your voice, and then they will be a part of your community. So that's what I'm building here, is a robust community of people that's really trying to do the work and reap the benefits of doing that work. So if that's you, come to the webinar. Yeah, so if you have any final questions about being a content creator, let me know. Otherwise, you can watch this video. There's going to be a replay available on YouTube and Facebook. Just look up my name. It's the same username on all platforms, Georgie-Ann. It is my actual name. So it's easy to find. So Google me. But yeah, I hope this was educational. I know I touched upon some topics that you may have no idea about, but that's just the beginning. My goal is to explain and educate all of that. It's going to be micro size, bite size, so that way folks can understand it and then leverage it for their benefits if they do want to create content for their professional brand, their personal brand, for their business, or they just want to leverage and become a content creator that makes content for other brands and businesses. All right, so that's it for me. I don't see no more questions coming through. I know there's like a little lag. But yeah, thank you so much for joining the live. If you're not already following me, follow, like, subscribe. Again, the replay will be available on my YouTube channel, link in my bio, or just go to youtube.com/@Georgie-Ann and you will find the live right there. Good night, everybody. I really appreciate you joining tonight. I hope you learned something new. Share this with somebody that is trying to be a content creator, or save this if you are trying to be a content creator. On Instagram, I also have my content creator channel. If you go to my bio, that first link up top, there's like 90 something people in there. I'll be sharing the link, the YouTube link in there, so you can access it pretty fast as well. Bye, everybody.